Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I have a sim racing mod. It's a paddle shift mod for Thrustmaster wheels. I think this one could apply really to most of them. There's like the F1, which I think is a completely different style, but I think most of this is basically, I don't think it would work for the 458 Italia. That's the plastic crappy wheel that you don't want that anyway. Just spend a little more and just get at least this more affordable leather wrapped wheel. But so what I did, and I guess I'll explain why I did it and how I came to the conclusion. You can do this fairly cheap. I think I got this stuff all at Harbor Freight, maybe like $1 or $2, another $1 or $2. You don't have to do it my way. This is just the cheapest way you can do it on your own. You might already have this stuff. Just try it, or build off of this idea with something even better. And hopefully I can get this all to show up on camera. So really easy. This one doesn't require taking anything apart. I think it's a little bit flimsier sounding because it's not attached to the wheel base, but this is kind of like showing you how much spring is on it. Now again, the idea I got for this was I think it was it's been so long. I'm not into sim racing like I used to be, but I think it was Sim Racing Garage, and the mod he had was someone sells this. It's like a 3D print, and it's kind of the same thing, but it's all a bracket, so it's proprietary to your wheel basically, to where this is just kind of a DIY. It didn't seem like a bad idea, but I don't know if it was like it wasn't in stock or if you had to have an account, or I don't know if they took PayPal or not. But regardless of that, I wanted to buy that, and then I just got to thinking, well, maybe I can just make something very similar. And I don't have a 3D printer. I didn't want to try and build a block out of wood and drill it out and put magnets in it. So I thought, well, what would happen if I just it's not flush fit, but what if I just got one of these ceramic block magnets, because I have them, but they're cheap, and I have two. It's time I had two, one for each side. And then I typed on YouTube the paddle mod, magnetic paddle shifter mod, and someone, so it kind of verified, they basically did the exact same thing, but what they did was they took this apart, which isn't that hard, and they took out the mechanism. There's a spring and I think some other things, and then it was just strictly magnetic. So you didn't have like that spring feel right here, but this still gives you the magnetic pullback. But his was kind of the same thing, just put a powerful magnet, because that metal plate for the shifter hits the little switch in there. But I didn't do that, and I kind of like this idea better because it's easier, it's simple, you don't have to take it, and you still have the factory design, but now you get a little, maybe someone that can test that. I don't know how you'd test it. I think there's more resistance. But again, it's a couple dollars, even if it's placebo, it doesn't hurt. And I just added these little magnets on the side. Almost look like little button cell batteries. I've made it just to where they don't touch, or at least I don't think. Sometimes they can shift around because they're not locked down. You really don't need to add those. I just did. I didn't know if it would help or not. I just being picky, but. And another thing you could do, which you really can't, but theoretically, you could add another ceramic block, and then you get even more strength, but now it's sticking out too far, and it would really make it hard to get your quick release on and off. Maybe if you're never going to change your wheel or something, but I don't know if your fingers might, if you have another block up here, though your fingers probably would always be here. I don't know. And I just add a little bit of carbon fiber, because a lot of times these little blocks start to chip around the edges and stuff, so I don't know. That's just kind of aesthetic. But that's really all there is to it. Hopefully it just gives you a little bit of motivation, or just a concept you could build off of. That's what I did for mine. I do think it's better, but it's very easy, simple to do. So then once you get this, but you can see it doesn't really interfere with the quick release. Your fingers are a little tight, so you gotta kind of stay back here. but you can still get it on and off. Depends. I mean, I never really change it. This is the wheel rim I want to use. But if you're changing them more often, keep that in mind. And that was another reason why it'd be hard to add another block, because it would be like you almost have to just try and pinch it. And then when you put this little screw back in, when you try and spin it off, it'll hit this block, so you got to take it the whole way off. So just make sure you don't lose it when you're swapping your rims, because you can't really keep that screw in and spin it, which is what I would do before I had those on. But aside from that, I don't know, I think it's good. At least it gives you some ideas, and it's cheap. So if you have the stuff laying around or you want to give it a shot, just to put that out there. So hopefully you found that helpful. Thanks for watching, and see me in the next one. Have a good one.